Depending on which crew member crosses the threshold of the International Space Station first, Yui or Lindgren, they each, on their first flights into space, one will become the 217th individual to board the station, the other the 218th. Right now, the systems aboard the Soyuz rocket are being tested, including the emergency escape system, which should have just been armed just a few minutes ago. The suit checks aboard the astronauts and cosmonauts' suits should have been completed, and the escape system has been switched to auto. The next up in the timeline will be to activate the recorders on board and to free the gyroscopes on the table of the launch pad. The pre-launch operation should be completed about 55 minutes after the hour. Each of the three crew members launching tonight to the station hails from the space agency of a different nation, and as a reflection of the spirit of the international cooperation that's brought the world's most complex spacecraft together as a 21st century scientific endeavor. An international partnership of space agencies from the United States, Russia, Europe, Japan, and Canada have worked together for 15 years on the most politically complex space exploration program ever undertaken.
10, 9. It took 41 rocket launches just to bring the building materials to the construction site, and more than 100 other launches along the way to ferry up the human crew members and deliver the supplies they would need to live and work. The largest peacetime engineering and construction project in human history. And it wouldn't have happened if the nations of the world hadn't joined forces. But they did. And that cooperative spirit is alive and thriving right now on board the International Space Station. The major space agencies of the world each have their own independent exploration program. Yet they work together on one project that's vital to humankind's future in space. Operating a joint research laboratory and technology development station 250 miles above the Earth. The United States, Russia, Japan, Canada, and the nations of Europe each provide and train crew members who operate this space station.
We have come to know each other very well, to really enjoy each other's company, enjoy working together. I consider them very close friends.
При нашем взаимодействии внутри корабля мы отталкиваемся прежде всего от целей и задач, почему именно мы сидим в этом корабле. И поэтому у нас никаких особых проблем во взаимодействии никаких нет, в силу нашей профессиональной способности.
I think each country has its unique strengths and good part and also a weakness. So if we cooperate each other, we can cover the other nations' weak part and help each other.
Over the years, the partners have contributed the vehicles that bring human beings to orbit, and the ones that make regular deliveries of supplies and materials, plus all the hardware and samples to operate a set of scientific laboratories and experiments that are achieving things that couldn't be done on Earth. The results, in terms of science and technology development, are out of this world.
Having different perspectives, either different scientific perspectives, different international perspectives, has helped bring strength to the work that we do. We've gotten to work with some incredible people around the globe, and that we found what we think are some significant findings.
The alpha magnetic spectrometer is a high-energy particle physics experiment designed to study cosmic rays, antimatter, and dark energy. There's 15 countries, about 600 engineers, physicists, scientists, technicians, about 60 different institutes, universities, all over the planet. You get the interaction of all these people, and in the end, you have something that's a whole lot better than what you have done by yourself.
Each space agency takes responsibility for a part of the mission by operating a control room in their own country, which focuses on daily operations in their own labs and modules. The heart of the overall operation is at NASA's Mission Control Center in Houston, where a team coordinates what all the partners are doing.
The Yachts Plan team takes all of the requirements handed down from the ISS program, from the international partners, from the flight control team, and from the science community. And we integrate all of those requirements into a timeline, and we uplink it to the crew, and that's how the crew knows what to do on a given day.
With all that effort, over all these years, the partners in the International Space Station have created something that's already provided benefits on Earth and encouraged the growth of a commercial space industry, and is perfectly positioned to continue that mission, supporting future human exploration into deep space.
If you think about all the capability that's on the space station today, it brought out the best in each of the partners. The only way for exploration to be successful is to have that global partnership together as we have had so far with the space station.
We're going to use the technology of the ATV, 5 very successful ISS resupply missions, to make this incredible contribution to the Orion spacecraft. So the service module will be a very critical part to the Orion spacecraft. It will provide power, it will provide thermal control, and most importantly, it will provide propulsion to the crew module.
Building on the robotics technology we developed to support the space shuttle program and then to assemble the space station, Canada's developed a next-generation Canadarm. This is a state-of-the-art suite of robotics prototypes that will be able to support the critical next steps in exploring the solar system.
У нас в России есть такая поговорка, что один ум хорошо, а 2 еще лучше. Но 2 и 3 это гораздо лучше, потому что работая в кооперации международной, люди гораздо лучше начинают понимать друг друга.
Better understanding and a common goal combine for a great future out there.
Back live with the launch coverage of the Soyuz TMA-17m spacecraft atop a Soyuz booster headed for the International Space Station. 12 minutes, 40 seconds and counting to launch. NASA astronaut Kjell Lindgren has been in training for more than 2 years for this mission. It's his first space flight and, of course, his first long-duration mission aboard the International Space Station. 2 weeks ago, my colleague Pat Ryan had an opportunity to talk with him while he was in Star City, Russia, preparing for this launch. And he talked about not only the launch today, but his mission as well.
Well, I think my crew and I are very excited about this upcoming mission and this upcoming launch. We've been training for a little under 2.5 years for this. And of course, we had the launch delay from May. We've had some time to do some refresher training, to get a couple more sims under our belt, but we're ready to go.
Well, yes, as you say, you and Oleg and Kimya have had to wait out a launch delay because of a problem with a prior launch. You guys feel like you're well prepared now and eager to get going?
Absolutely. You know, we were very disappointed to see the mishap with the Progress vehicle, and very excited to see the success of the recent 60P Progress launch and docking. We're very confident in the Soyuz vehicle that we're going to be flying in. We do have a couple of flight readiness reviews still to go next week, but we're excited about the prospect of a launch on the 23rd of July.
Well, describe the day. Tell me what lies ahead for a Soyuz crew on the launch day itself. What's in front of you guys from wake up to launch?
Sure. Well, I think it's kind of a surreal day, and I had the opportunity to see it as a backup member of the crew back in November when Terry Virts and Samantha Cristoforetti and Anton Shklaparov launched. So we get up at a kind of a normal time. We have breakfast. We do, I think, just not a whole lot of heavy work, just kind of mosey around a little bit and then take a nap in the early afternoon to try and sync us up with the launch schedule. We do some final preparations, some medical preparations, and then have a light snack and then head out to the building 254 where we'll suit up into our Sokol spacesuits. And out there we'll have the opportunity to see family from across through the glass and have a last few moments before the launch. We'll do a pressure check on our Sokol suits, and then we'll head out to the launch pad.
Well, so as you look ahead now to this 4 or 5 months that you're going to spend in space, is there something in particular that you're most looking forward to? An experiment or a spacewalk or something else?
Sure. You know, I think that there are two things that I'm particularly looking forward to with this first flight. The first one is just the opportunity to look back at the Earth. I have several friends that have flown and have sent pictures back, but every time they say it just doesn't do reality justice. And so to get to see the Earth constantly changing, all the beautiful colors, to look back at the Earth with my own eyes, that's very exciting for me. And the second thing that I feel so privileged to have this opportunity to do a long duration space flight, to really learn how to live and work in space for a long period of time, to really adapt to that environment.
Only a few years ago, someone in your position wouldn't have had the options available to share the mission that they're flying in space with those of us who are on the ground. Do you have plans to take advantage of social media and things like that to let us see what you're doing?
Absolutely. You know, I'm probably not the most active person on Twitter. I've been keeping friends and family updated on Facebook, and I have an Instagram account. But I absolutely plan to share the experience with those who are interested using social media. I think you're absolutely right that that we're really in a new era where we can almost real time share the things that we're seeing, things that we're doing, share interesting things with folks back here on Earth.
And you'll be getting to do something that I think you've been waiting most of your life to get to do.
Absolutely. This has been a lifelong dream for me. It's been kind of a windy path, but I feel it's such an honor to get to do this job, and really what a privilege to be sitting here, you know, with 14 days to go before launch.
You know, it's going to be 6 months or more before you get back to Houston at the end of the mission, how long will have been gone from home. Tell me what it is you think that we're learning from flying these missions that makes it worth that sacrifice for you.
Sure. Well, the space station is an incredible piece of engineering, and it's a tremendous resource, a national laboratory orbiting above the Earth. It gives us the opportunity to do research that will benefit our abilities to go deeper into space for longer periods of time, to explore the ultimate goal, to explore Mars. But it also benefits folks back here on the Earth. We're doing life science research, materials research, combustion research that is providing real benefit to people back here.
Well, Chell, thanks for the few minutes. Have a safe trip and have a good time on orbit.
Thank you so much, Pat. Appreciate your time.
My colleague Pat Ryan talking with Kjell Lindgren in Star City, Russia, just outside Moscow, a couple of weeks ago before he headed to the launch site, and now he sits along with two other crew members aboard that Soyuz spacecraft ready for launch just under 7 minutes from now. In the last couple of minutes, the recorders have been activated on board and the pre-launch operations have been completed. The final launch countdown operations are now sequencing to auto, and the launch complex and vehicle systems are ready for launch. In just about a minute or so, the commander's controls will become active and the crew members will close their helmets and visors, and the launch key will be inserted, and yes, that is a real key, into the bunker. It transitions the launch sequence into automatic mode. You see Commander Oleg Kononenko in the center there. In this view, he's to the left, and at the top of the picture is Kimiya Yui, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency astronaut set to fly for the first time today. The small object that you see moving there in the center is the small R2-D2 toy that is suspended above the commander's seat position, and that is provided by his children. That you'll notice that throughout the launch phase, and especially when the engines shut down, placing the Soyuz on orbit when zero gravity takes over during the after the engine shut down and the Soyuz is considered on orbit. 5 minutes, 15 seconds to launch.
combustion chamber nitrogen purge. We copy.
The launch control reports that the range at Baikonur is now clear. The Soyuz rocket is ready to begin its journey 4 minutes, 40 seconds from now.
Come again, Antares. We did copy. Antares, come again. We had music playing, and we couldn't hear you that well. Inaudible.
Four minutes to launch. At this point, the combustion chamber is being purged with pure nitrogen. And at this point, the International Space Station is flying directly overhead the launch pad at 250 miles up, traveling 17,500 miles per hour. At the time of launch, the station will be out over northeast Kazakhstan. And at the time of Soyuz orbital insertion, the station will be out over northeast China, 2,243 miles ahead of the Soyuz spacecraft. Ground propellant feeds have now been terminated. Just under 3 minutes to launch.
The propellant tank pressurization initiated. Copy.
And the booster propellant tank has now been pressurized for flight. Two minutes to launch. About 30 seconds from now, the vehicle will transition to internal power. One minute to launch. Coming up on the transition to auto sequence start and the first umbilical tower separation.
The first tower separated. Copy.
25 seconds. The third stage ground power umbilical is separated. Standing by for the issuance of launch command. We have engine start. 10 seconds to launch.
Engine from flight. Copy. Engine to maximum thrust.
We have liftoff.
Good luck, guys. Thank you.
Liftoff of the Soyuz TMA-17m on its way to catch up with the International Space Station 5 hours, 43 minutes from now. Early reports of good first stage performance.
Nominally a few seconds, first seconds into the flight. Copy.
Soyuz is delivering 930,000 pounds of thrust from the 4 boosters and the single engine. The first stage of the Soyuz measures 68 feet in length, 24 feet in diameter. It's burning liquid fuel for the first 2 minutes 6 seconds of the flight. Already traveling 1,100 miles per hour and transitioning through the area of maximum dynamic pressure on the vehicle. One minute, 35 seconds. All continuing to go smoothly.
Everything is fine on board. G-loads are increasing.
Standing by for escape tower jettison. The 4 strap-on boosters have been jettisoned. Those have completed their job. They've dropped away from the vehicle at an altitude of 28 statute miles. The vehicle is now traveling 3,350 miles per hour. Standing by for launch shroud jettison.
The thrusters are functioning. They are stable and 150 seconds into the flight. Copy. 160 seconds into the flight. No fairing jettison. Copy.
Shroud jettison confirmed. The vehicle's now traveling 4,500 miles per hour, approaching 3 minutes into the flight.
We are sending command number 12. Copy, command number 12. We are receiving the image. Copy.
All guidance systems are nominal at this point. The core stage of the Soyuz is a 56 feet tall spacecraft, 13.5 feet in diameter. The single engine with 4 fuel chambers providing between 178 and 222,000 pounds of thrust for the 3 minute 28 seconds time of operation. This stage will burn until the 4 minute 43 second point, so about 1 more minute. At that point, the Soyuz uses what's called a hot stage transition, which the 3rd stage will actually ignite while the 2nd stage is still burning. Kjell Lindgren on his first voyage into space, 4 minutes into the flight.
And 50 seconds into the flight. Propellant and everything is nominal. Copy. Everything is fine on board.
Four minutes, 30 seconds, standing by for burnout of the core booster, which will separate at an altitude of 105 miles. That's about 170 kilometers.
290 seconds into the flight. Second stage separation. The thruster operated not.
Second stage separation has been confirmed. The Soyuz is now being propelled by the single engine of the third stage, an engine providing 67,000 pounds of thrust, which will burn for the next 4 minutes of the mission. All guidance systems still working perfectly. The Russian Mission Control Center at the Korolyov site outside Moscow, the home of the Russian Mission Control Center for the International Space Station and for on-orbit operations of the Soyuz spacecraft.
350 seconds into the flight, everything is fine.
6 minutes into the mission, 2 minutes 45 seconds remain in powered flight. 3 crew members on their way to a rendezvous and docking with the International Space Station later tonight. Soyuz Commander Oleg Kononenko and Kimiya Yui from the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency. Out of view, Kjell Lindgren, U.S. astronaut. Traveling more than 10,000 miles per hour now, approaching 7 minutes into the flight. Launch occurred on time at 4:02 this afternoon Central Time, 5:02 Eastern Daylight Time, 3:02 a.m. Thursday morning at the Baikonur Cosmodrome in Kazakhstan. Seven minutes, 30 seconds into the flight, the Soyuz is now traveling 13,500 miles per hour, and all reports are continuing that the vehicle is operating as expected. Once the third stage delivers the Soyuz to orbit and the module is separated, there's a series of pre-programmed commands that will be executed to prepare the Soyuz for orbital operations. These stored commands are called time-tagged commands, and they allow many of the Soyuz's systems to be automatically activated by onboard computers at precise times that are stored inside those computer software. 8 minutes, 15 seconds into the flight, 30 seconds remaining in powered flight.
All the control systems are functioning nominally.
8 minutes, 30 seconds. We're standing by for third stage cutoff and separation of the third stage from the Soyuz spacecraft. And that confirms it. The third stage is shut down. Welcome to space to Oleg Kononenko, Kimiya Yui, and Kjell Lindgren. A very smooth ride to orbit following launch from the Baikonur Cosmodrome.
Page 33.
Third stage actually performs a slight avoidance maneuver which occurs by opening a valve in its liquid oxygen tank.
Go ahead. Antares, so the separation went well. Everything is fine.
Those time-tagged commands are already doing their job. The solar arrays on the spacecraft have been deployed.
Input 1 and 2 are closed. Antares RDR for dynamic operations enable is 001430. Copy. Antares Moscow. You will have to send the command, the inhibit of RDR, or dynamic operations control. Unintelligible.
And just to correct, one of the solar panels has been deployed. They're issuing commands for the deployment of the second solar array on the Soyuz spacecraft.
The 1 setting. Copy. So the 1 is set. Copy. Antares Moscow, please now perform the iterations with TV. There are 4. Command. Yes, copy. Please continue working. Antares Moscow, we are ready to copy your first measurement. Inaudible.
Время 00, 13:00, давление СА 790, давление БО 811.
The SA pressure is 790 in SA and 811 in BO at the time 0013. Inaudible.
17,5, 18, 18,
Parameter 17 is 17.5, 264. The next parameter, 1 and 9, 22, 32, 5, 23, 30, 31, 24, 17.1, 25, 17.2, 26, 256, and the next one is 880. It's the parameters list. Okay, copy. I am deactivating the repress, sending the command. The repress is deactivated. Okay, copy. Okay, we have accelerometer selected. Okay, copy. The second set is selected. Okay, copy.
Now a little more than 13 minutes into the flight, recapping the launch occurred on time at 4:02 this afternoon Central, 5:02 p.m. Eastern. All of the system activation is continuing on board. We do not have confirmation that one of the solar arrays deployed. So we'll just keep listening to the checkouts. The Coors automated rendezvous and docking system test is underway on board. So the spacecraft systems are healthy, as is the crew.
Moscow SA, we have started the building of the local vertical and OSCAR for posigrade. Antares Moscow. Antares Moscow. Go ahead, Moscow.
Антарес, в общем, по четвертой полуплоскости не открылась солнечная батарея. Мы работаем штатно.
So the solar arrays have deployed. Everything is nominal. Okay, copy, Moscow.
У нас выполнился длинный комплект второго курса без замечаний. Есть переключение на курс 1.
This second set course or operation was nominal. We are transferring to set number 1 of the course. Everything is nominal. Copy. Now we are standing by for the second reading. Antares. The second reading, the 787 in SA and 754 in BO. It's the pressure reading. Okay, copy. Antares, have you checked the indicators on the panels? Everything is fine. Moscow? No comments and issues? Antares, by the next compass, please prepare everything as per page 45, step number 1. Okay? We'll do Moscow. And the next compass starts at 0134 and LOS is at 0156. Copy. So 0134 and LOS is 0156. Copy that. Antares, Moscow. Go ahead. You can release a little bit the straps of your harness and please work with the thermal sensors at the scheduled time. The parameters of orbit are nominal. You can also open your visors. I'll copy, Antares. We copy and we are opening the visors. Also, you will have to remark at page 45 the time of the IKV inhibit. Okay, so we are at page 45. IKV inhibit time 013600. You will have to record it. Okay, copy. The time of IKV infrared horizon sensors inhibit is 013600. And a reminder.
And you're hearing a conversation between the Russian Mission Control Center and the crew commander for the Soyuz TMA-17m, Oleg Kononenko, as he methodically steps through the procedures, making sure the spacecraft is healthy on orbit, and we believe that they've confirmed that all of the appendages, including the solar arrays, are deployed and all of the systems are healthy aboard the vehicle. They were giving the crew the usual numbers associated when their next ground pass will come about an hour and a half from now, when they will check in with the crew once again, continuing on the path of its for-orbit 5.5 plus hours rendezvous and docking sequence. As of now, the docking remains scheduled for 9:46 this evening. U.S. Central Time, 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time, just 5 hours, 24 minutes from now.
Moscow, Antares, what is the LOS time? 0:23 in 40 seconds. Could you please repeat your last In 0023 is the LOS time. Okay, it's again you are coming with a lot of interference. In 30 seconds will be the end of the compass, or LOS in 30 seconds. Now copy Moscow in 30 seconds. Oleg, how copy? This is Solovyov talking to the Soyuz crew. You know, you are coming up very weak. So, you were told that there was one problem with the battery, but everything else is nominal, and we are using the short profile of docking, rendezvous and docking. Everything else is nominal. Okay, copy, everything is nominal, and we're using the short profile of docking. Talk to you later.
Looking over from the balcony, looking over the floor of the Russian Mission Control Center in Korolyov outside Moscow. You heard just a moment ago Vladimir Solovyev, who is head of the flight director office there at the Russian Mission Control Center, talking with Oleg Kononenko on board the Soyuz spacecraft, giving him a go for the 4-orbit 6-hour, just under 6-hour rendezvous. So the vehicle's in excellent shape, healthy. The last confirmation needed was the deployment of the second solar array. We don't have the telemetry here in Mission Control in Houston of that, but all of the other appendages, systems, we did confirm are in excellent shape, and so the Soyuz is on its way for a rendezvous and docking with the station later tonight, U.S. time, Thursday afternoon, Moscow time. There's a whole series of rendezvous maneuvers now that will take place over the course of the next couple of hours, the first of which is the first rendezvous burn known as DV1. That actually should be coming up in the next 20 minutes or so. It'll be a 58.8 foot per second rendezvous maneuver. It's about a 40-mile-per-hour change in velocity of the vehicle to start the process of refining its orbit in relation to that of the International Space Station. Again, there's a whole series of these DV burns that happen over the course of the next 4 hours or so, putting it in close proximity with the station, and of course the rendezvous and docking activities that will begin once the vehicle is within range of about 50 miles or so of the International Space Station.